So hi everyone, this is not a wig tutorial. This is kind of just a, I don't know, like I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't have a child that had these type of specialties, and now I do. So this is Adriana. Adriana was born without a jaw. If you've watched my other video of where I've been the last couple months, what happened with my child, why she was in the NICU for 3 months. She was born without a jaw. It's called Pierre-Robin syndrome. So in utero, her jaw wasn't formed. And when she was born, she had to have a feeding tube down her throat to help her breathe. Because her jaw wasn't formed, there was no, the airway was so small in her mouth so that when she was born, her tongue would have fallen back on top of her throat and she would have suffocated herself. So that is, in a nutshell, why she had a breathing tube. But because she was in the NICU with a breathing tube, the only way for her to eat, since she couldn't eat by mouth, was through her feeding tube. So she had a feeding tube up her nose for about the first 3 months of her life. And then a week and a half before she was discharged from the NICU, they gave her a G-tube. So I'm going to show you guys what that is. And I'm going to show you mothers out there who may never have had this type of gadget with their child, and you found out that, you know, your little one on the way may have to have this. This is just a video to show you what I do and how I feed my daughter. So this is her feeding tube. So it's in her stomach. There's a hole in her stomach. Well, yeah, I guess a hole in her stomach. And then this is the end of the tube. And then this little gadget right here is her pump. This is the bag where I place the milk in up here. And then I turn on this pump. And then I attach this cord to the very end of Adriana's pump right here. So right now this is clamped. So this is clamped because when we open up the top right here, we don't want any air to get in. So we keep this clamped while we open up the end of Adriana's tube. We take the lid off of the line from the feeding pump, and then we screw it in there like that. And then that's how the milk comes directly from the pump, which is right here. To the feeding tube. So, so I'm gonna set Adriana down. Well, I'll just put her on the bed. And then I'm gonna get the milk run in. So that's the pump. This is the milk. Adriana is getting about 130 milliliters of liquid. So I had already had some poured in. So I pour that into the bag. And then I turn on her pump. So that's going to say on. And then the volume is at 130 milliliters. The total is 130 milliliters. The rate is 200 milliliters an hour, and the dosage is 130 milliliters. And then, so I have that all set up. The milk's in. Now, we unclamp the line. Here we go, love. And then I hit run. And as you can see, it starts to go in her belly. And it's going in her belly, and that's how she gets fed. It took me about maybe a week and a half to get comfortable. Like I said, I previously had never known about this device, this contraption, before I had a child who needed it. And so I know that every day there are parents who are walking into their OB appointments or their anatomy assessment at 20 weeks and are being told devastating news about something that may possibly be abnormal with the creation of their child, like it was for mine. Unfortunately, I probably will not be able to feed Adriana by bottle this time around, which is kind of sad. But she still has her cleft palate in the back of her throat. So around month 10 or 11, the doctors will go in to the back of her throat and close that up. And she will not be allowed to take a bottle until that heals. So depending on how, you know, she seems interested in the bottle from here until about, so she's 5 months now. She's 5.5 months now. For the next 3 or 4 months, if she really doesn't show an interest in the bottle, which she may not because she's gotten very comfortable with being fed through her stomach, we may be surpassing the bottle phase with the baby, which it's sad. And it's something that I think about all the time that I probably took for granted with Natalie, my first baby. But Adriana is healthy. She's happy. She has survived the worst of what was told was going to happen to her in the NICU. And so we'll be using this pump probably until she's about 3 or 4, depending on if we can get her to start eating by mouth post-surgery. So that is how we use a feeding pump. That is how Adriana gets fed. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon, okay? Say bye, Addie girl.